first thing we're going to do is bring back a guest who was on the show with us 1 year ago last week. We couldn't figure it out how to get the thing together last week, so we're a little bit late with it, but he's back, and we got to bring him on and talk baseball because he made such an impact on a lot of people to listen to the show with his story about baseball, what he's doing. He's Ben Porter, and he is now the head of MLB at Angstrom Sports. Porter, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What's up, guys? It's so good to be back. I got a text from Consig today. Said, Porter, can you come on the show tonight? I was like, hell yeah, absolutely. It's the middle of baseball season. There's only 6 games on today. Really slow MLB slate, and we got a bunch of college baseball games going on. So I'm pumped up, ready to talk some sports, ready to talk some baseball. It's good to hear newbie's voice. Yeah, great to be back.
That's perfect. I mean, this is what we're going to do here. So we're going to talk about that with you, bringing people up to date, let you tell them what you're up to now. Last time you were here, like I said, it was a year ago last week. You were a trader, a MLB trader at Canby Sports, no longer doing that, moved on to something different. And now you're in Boston. Are you in Boston right now?
I'm in Boston, right around the corner from Fenway.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not
still waiting for my first meet with CH though.
CH is a little further north, but
soon.
It's probably going to happen. I'm going to put the yes on this summer. I don't know, minus 800. I'm just going to say it's probably going to happen. Although the Red Sox aren't really happening. We'll get to that in a second. All right. Porter, first question out of the gate. What the hell are you doing now every day to day with this business? And right now, what are you doing? Just summarize it in a minute to 2 minutes for the people.
Yeah. So the company I'm at is an odds provider. We calculate, we got all these computer models. They take in baseball stats. They spit out all different kinds of numbers. If you want odds on a catcher's interference in a game, we can do that. Stuff like that. So my job is to put in the stats. I look at every rookie who comes up. I look at guys who have thrown maybe 1 or 2 starts, and I figure out kind of where their skill levels are at. If Tristan Casas gets called up for the Red Sox, I do a deep dive on his video. I say, this is a 240 guy with, I don't know, 380 OBP, 600 slugging. Guy's going to rake. So then based on the numbers that I come up with, we can generate prices for his player props. That goes into the prices for the full game, the total, you name it. So that's my day to day for the whole league.
So you're like officially a numbers guy now. Like
I'm more a numbers guy. Yep.
Deep in the numbers. You don't have to take the bets, but you're actually doing other stuff that will provide odds for people that do take bets.
Exactly.
So where do people find you on the Twitter? What is it again?
At Ben13 Porter.
At Ben13 Porter. The 13 was your uniform number at Columbia, right?
I was 18 at Columbia. I was 13 growing up. That's when I made the Twitter. It was a long time ago, and that just stuck. But I was 18 in high school and then at Columbia where I played. So
okay,
13, 18, they're both kind of lucky for me.
So people new to the show, listening to the show maybe for the first time, Porter is an Ivy League kid. He's smart. He's a numbers guy. He was a center fielder. So, he had to, and he hit near the top of the order, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. So it's not like some pitcher or some other, backup catcher. This is like a cerebral center fielder giving you this information. So go follow him on the Twitter there. All right. So Boston kid did a little stint in Philly and all that stuff. You got to tell people about the batting glove stuff, like this no BG community. All right. We had to bring you back on, and we made sure you wash your hands before you come, for the show. But what is the deal with the batting gloves, Benjamin?
Well, I never wore them. My favorite player when I was a kid was Vladimir Guerrero Sr. So he was a no batting gloves guy. I started to learn the history. Obviously, Roberto Clemente is the GOAT. They didn't wear them as much back then. Anybody didn't. But heard stories about Moises Alou and some of his traditions, let's say, and I'm just going to get out in front of it. The one that kind of made me a name for myself on this show was that Moises Alou used to piss on his hands to get rid of blisters, callous his hands.
Yes.
And I did abide by that practice while I was playing baseball. It has been a long time since, though, so the hands are clean.
Newbie, as a lacrosse guy and a football guy, you ever hear anything as ridiculous as that?
No, I haven't heard about, like urinating on your own phalanges. No, I hadn't heard about that, but I did hear about, like football players who, like when you're out on the field, like you can't go to the bathroom, right? So like I know a dude who played where we were at. He's now the captain of the Detroit Lions, Alex Anzalone. He this past year peed in his pants, like on the field, because, you can't go to the bathroom, whatever, you're sweating anyways. So you just let it on loose, release the natural heater, boom. So I haven't heard about peeing on your own hands, but people do pee their own pants in the NFL. Dave's incredulous.
Everyone,
he's like, we didn't do any of this shit in hockey. What the hell is going on?
No, you can't. Like, you can't. You're all padded up. You got all this stuff. You got to go run to the locker room in between periods, or like say, coach, I got to go. Like, I don't know. That's fine.
So I have to say, this is bothering me now, because I think we talked about Jorge Posada when you were on the last time about his ritual, right? But I didn't know about Moises Alou, and it bothers me because one of my best friends in school was drafted by the Expos and was in spring training with Moises Alou and Larry Walker and who was the other guy, Delino DeShields. And I met all those guys and I shook all their hands.
Oh, you're tainted too now. At least
Now I'm tainted. I'm tainted.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
I don't know what to tell you.
This explains a lot about the last 30-something years.
See, I mean, and you just played golf. Did you get any blisters while you were golfing? CH, do you wear gloves when you play golf?
Oh, question.
I wear one glove. I actually play. I don't know how he makes it onto the show every week, but Weeksy plays with two gloves. I've never seen a golfer play with two gloves.
Weeksy plays with two gloves?
Two gloves.
The Teddy Bridgewater of golfing.
Teddy Bridgewater of golf.
What the hell? Weeksy looks like Jaws. He looks like Teddy Bridgewater. And Kenny Pickett plays quarterback with two gloves too, apparently. I ain't never seen anybody play with two gloves unless it's 35 out. I know it ain't 35 up in Boston. Weeksy, you got to take one of the gloves off. I mean, play with the one on the left hand and stay loose with the right. All right, Porter. So baseball. What is your thing that you're looking at like really consistently right now? Because got a lot of people looking at baseball and betting and different sites and different things. What do you like to focus on just for yourself, one, but then when you're betting or you're looking at different things, do you find yourself gravitating towards certain statistics or certain trends or something like that that you can pass on to people?
Yeah, I mean, from a work standpoint, the biggest thing for me so far this year has been figuring out what type of baseball they're using. I check daily, weekly. I check the 3-day in terms of how many home runs are being hit, how hard the ball is being hit, anything that could kind of clue me into what baseball they're using. That's not really necessarily useful for the people at home, but that is something that I look at every day to try to solve that puzzle.
When you were playing, did you notice a difference in the baseballs?
I didn't. I never did. We used, I guess maybe a little bit. If you go conference to conference, let's say the Ivy League baseball was different than a Big 12 baseball, is different than an SEC baseball.
Probably more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, for sure. You probably had the best baseballs at the Ivy League. There's no question about that.
Well, the investment in sports is a little less so than that of the
maybe,
SEC.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But I think the pitchers are the guys who really start to notice that stuff.
Right.
When the branding on the baseball is different, it's easy to kind of see a difference. But when all the MLB baseballs are supposed to be the same, I wouldn't be able to tell a difference. But the guys who are handling them every day, they're the ones who figure it out.
Right. So tell the story, if you don't mind, about the Columbia bet, because you know,
Yeah.
you and I texted, and I was like, did that really just happen? Like, you know, and did you really think they could actually win the thing?
Yeah, well, so a little bit of context. Columbia won the Ivy League this year. They
Woohoo!
made the NCAA tournament, and
Yep.
so they got sent to the Blacksburg Regional to play against Virginia Tech, Gonzaga, and Wright State. So being a betting man, I wanted to take a shot on them to win the regional, and I did some line shopping, and I found plus 1,500 at PointsBet, and so I tried to put $50 on them. At plus 1,500 would pay 750, I believe. And they didn't ask, they just took $6.65. $6.65
Yes.
to pay about 100, denied the rest. And that was the end of it. Then they dropped the price to plus 1,200, I believe, on a $6 bet.
Moving lines.
Wow.
So not the finest sports book moment. That is a practice that I was involved with at Canby, so I can't be too mad about it. But when you're on the other side of it, it certainly ruffles the feathers a little bit.
Yeah. And are they playing right now?
So Columbia made the regional final against Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech, number 4 team in the country, they beat them. So unfortunately, the Lions are out. Save me some money. That that bet rejection, but it was fun to watch him play, and would have liked to had a little bit more action on it.
Isn't that ironic how that always happens like that? Like, you know, instead of just taking the bet, they reject it, limited to $6.65, and they would have won. But
Yeah, they would have won.
You know, they would have won, you would have lost, and instead they saved you the money by rejecting the bet. This is the state of sports betting at some places. CH, you got any other questions for Porter here before we get to the actual sports and the different things going on right now?
I do, and I'm probably going to steal something from Newbie if Newbie's got a question too. But I got to ask. So we are going to meet down there this summer for a Sox game. Where are we going before the game? That's a huge question.
Question.
Where I would go with CH is probably a little bit different than where I might go with Newbie.
Oh, whoa! Why? Why would it be different? CH is a little older. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you CH can't hang? Do you understand where CH?
I didn't say he can't hang. He probably drink me under the table, but
well, that's a good question. He's minus whatever. There's no doubt about that.
Fair.
But just the scene, you know, the crowd who's in there, CH would hang anywhere, of course.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great question.
I get my ass kissed very often, but I'll take it.
I like right near Fenway. I like Yard House for a different array of beers.
Okay.
So maybe we could do that. Get a nice IPA before the game or something.
Perfect.
Whatever you prefer.
Perfect.
Okay. Newbie,
I got a hard hitting question because I know that I know that that's what I mean. I know that Porter has now, I mean, he's a Boston guy through and through, but he's tasted the sweet nectar that is Philadelphia. He's lived there. I campaigned. I tried to get Porter to stay, and he had to go back up. So, Porter, this is a tough question because I know a lot about Boston. I don't know as much about the Boston food scene. I let you dip your toe in one of the best pizzas that you can get outside of New York at Dock Street down in Philly. How does the food compare? Because I think the city of brotherly love, we got a lot of portly gentlemen in the city of brotherly love. A lot of those founding fathers were rather portly themselves. And it's because we got some good eats, just food wise, because I'm not going to have you get fucking buried by all the Bostonians. Is Philadelphia a better overall food city than Boston? That's a hot question right there, Dave. That's a hot seat.
Yes.
Let's go. It was minus 5,000, Dave. That's why I asked the question.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today.
So, like, what was the shining? Like, what's the delineating factors? All I know really about the Boston food scene is like beans and Dunkin', and I'm so glib on that because I'm missing out on a lot of good shit. So
that's
educate me a little.
That's not all there is. It's not all corned beef and cabbage and beans and
You like me some corned beef.
and Fenway Franks. You know, there's great food here. Just as you know, there's plenty of great Boston run establishments. There's a lot around the city, but Philly, man, I mean, I felt like I found, and maybe it's where I was living in Philly. Maybe I'm not exploring enough here. But I feel like I found a hole in the wall, a delicious sandwich, a different restaurant, a different type of cuisine almost every time I was out. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe and hey, I was living in Philly for 2.5, 3 years compared to only a couple months in Boston now. So maybe that's subject to change depending on the places that I go, but Philly's got a great food scene. It really does.
Dave, there's a reason why they got a lot of good linemen in Philadelphia. We know how to eat down there in the city of brotherly love. So that warmed my heart. I can honestly, you know, CH was like, yeah, that's all the time we'll have for Porter. I would just want to hop in the car and go to like Pat's or Geno's or something. Like now I want Philly food. This is not a smart move by me, Dave.
Well, I don't think you'd ask anyone and they'd say Boston is known for its food. That doesn't mean there isn't good food here, but it's not a food.
You got to
destination.
search a little bit more than, you know, stumbling upon it. I get.
Yeah, you come for the culture, you come for the sports scene, you come for the passionate Boston people, whatever it is, the history. Philly's got history too, obviously, but I don't think people make a trip here for the food.
Oh,
CH?
I don't know. I think if you're a player, you come for the ring. So
Yeah,
there you
go. There you go.
Oh,
They eating in a whole different way.
Oh.
In a whole different way.
oh, okay.
That was well done.
That was
Well done.
very well done.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.